Hey guys, so in today's video, I wanted to talk to you about something that has been going on at the urgent care clinic that I work at. For those of you who don't know, I am an urgent care medical assistant. So I'm a medical assistant, but my primary area that I work in currently is urgent care. And so lately, my job has been doing something different where they are allowing us to do suture removals. And I just want to talk about and vent a little bit about this because this is a little bit irritating to me. Not the fact that we're allowed to do suture removals, because I don't have a problem with that, but there are certain situations where I feel like it is not appropriate for our urgent care to be doing these suture removals. So I'm sure other urgent cares probably do suture removals, but I feel like a lot of these people that are coming into us, for one, a lot of them are not from our area. So we've had people that come from out of town or out of state even and want their sutures taken out, or stitches. Sutures are stitches for those of you who don't know. And so like I said, I don't have a problem taking stitches out, but for one, I'm not going to touch anything from the neck up because I don't want anybody to come and try to blame me if they have a scar that they don't like and they're like, oh, well, that medical assistant or that nurse, because a lot of people just call us nurses. That nurse or medical assistant in the urgent care clinic took out my stitches, and that must be why I have this scar that I have. So I do not take any stitches out that are in the neck and up. Just like one of our nurse practitioners will not put any stitches in, like on the face. I will not remove any stitches that are in the neck or up. And there's a particular surgeon that works at our hospital who does super, super tight sutures. And like, I am talking, this person sent us a patient to the urgent care, who, like, we basically had to cut his skin open again to be able to get the sutures out. So he ended up needing stitches just to get his stitches removed, which I think is ridiculous. And this particular surgeon will also tie knot on top of knot on top of knot. Like, he does so many knots, and it is very frustrating and irritating. It's definitely not an easy process, I will tell you that. And so, like, I hate it when his patients come in to get stitches removed, because it's just very frustrating trying to get it. I mean, you don't want to scar the person. You don't want to have to cut into their skin to be able to release the stitches. And like, obviously, as a medical assistant, I can go and get the provider, but there are some providers who absolutely refuse to do suture removals because they feel like it is the nurse or the medical assistant who should be doing them and not them. But if a wound also looks like it is infected or could potentially be infected or looks weird to me in any way, I will have the provider who is working in the urgent care, I will have them remove the stitches, because I'm not a provider, and I don't feel comfortable. Like, there was a person who came to us last week who had stitches in the back of his leg, and they definitely looked infected. And so I went and got one of the nurse practitioners who was working. We had two on that day. And I said, these stitches look really red and I don't feel comfortable taking them out. And like, the guy was already on the provider schedule anyway, not the nurse schedule. For those of you who don't know, if I haven't explained it, we have a urgent care nurse schedule, we have a family medicine nurse schedule, and we have provider schedule for the urgent care. Plus, obviously our family medicine providers have their own schedules as well. But he was already on the urgent care provider schedule. And so I went and told her, like, hey, he's on the provider schedule. And the other nurse practitioner is one who will not do things that she feels the nurse or the medical assistant could do. And she was like, well, you need to have them switch it. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like, he's on the provider schedule, and it could have been something like the patient requested the provider to remove his stitches, for all that I know. I mean, there's a reason he's on the provider schedule, and at least I didn't have to switch it from the nurse schedule to the provider schedule, because like I said, the way that his stitches looked, they looked infected, and I would not have even attempted to remove them anyways, just because of the way that they looked, because like I said, they looked infected, and I was not about to, you know, even attempt to try to do that. So anyways, it just irritates me. Like I don't understand. I guess I've always gone to surgeons who want you to come back to them so that they can evaluate or like examine where your stitches or staples were. And I've never like gone to a surgeon's office who's like, oh yeah, we put stitches in, like if they do some sort of procedure or surgery. I've never gone to a surgeon who's like, oh yeah, just go to your closest urgent care clinic or your family doctor and get your stitches removed. It's always been you go to the surgeon's office because they want to make sure that you're healing correctly. And so I don't know if these surgeons are just weird, but it's very frustrating to me. And like, honestly, with how busy we have been in the urgent care clinic lately, it makes no sense to be sending all these people to us to get their stitches taken out when we could send them upstairs to the surgeon's office and have the nurse that's up there or the medical assistant that's up there remove their stitches up in that clinic, because that clinic, there are days where there's no providers up there. And so it would be so much easier to send the patients up there to get their stitches removed. I don't get it. Like, please tell me if you have ever had a surgeon tell you to go to your nearest urgent care clinic or your primary care provider's office to get your stitches taken out. Like, is this something new? Because like I said, I have never had surgery or gone to a provider who has done a procedure and hasn't wanted me to come back to see them to get stitches removed. So yeah, I don't, it doesn't make sense to me at all. Like, I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone sometimes with some of the things that they allow to happen at this hospital. And like, I don't know. It makes me a little bit like excited to be going to nursing school, because I know that I'm going to have to leave this clinic. And with all of the craziness going on at this clinic, like, I feel like nursing school can't start soon enough. If you guys want more information about working in urgent care, what to expect working in urgent care, or my nursing school journey, it will be starting next month. I did get accepted for fall of 2024 into the BSN program, which is a BSN RN. So I will be working on my BSN, but I can definitely share as much information as you guys are interested in hearing about any of the above, whether it is medical assistant related, urgent care related. You guys know I've worked as a CNA, phlebotomist, all of that stuff. So I am able and willing to answer any questions you guys might have or talk about any topics that you might be interested in hearing about. And I did, like I said, get accepted to nursing school starting in fall 2024. So that is quickly approaching, and I am just waiting for them. I do have an orientation date, and that is towards the end of August. So I will share more information with you guys as that comes closer. But definitely let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. And yeah, I will talk to you guys in my next video, because it is about time for me to go inside. So yes, bye-bye, and I will see you next time.